Mark's take on homelessness is the reason it isn't being funded, these sorts of programs, as you discussed with Vinnie's, is because the state and the federal governments, they put their sleeves above, or they put themselves above the common people. The trouble is they don't grasp it at our level and they will never listen. The government bodies are far too many public servants trying to make jobs to keep themselves or make themselves worthy. Look at the car parks around these buildings in Perth, hundreds of cars in them, Ollie. They just do not listen to the people, says Mark. We're only talking about $500,000 to continue these services. Daniel, good afternoon.
Yeah, hi, Ollie, mate. I'm a teacher working in engagement, so this does come across my desk quite a bit, and it makes my blood boil because as of yesterday, there was one available bed in the whole of the Perth metropolitan area for a young girl to be able to access in crisis accommodation.
Shocking.
You've got private services like Foyer in Leederville, who are, I think, a great organisation, and they've had to close their books because they've got an 8-month waiting list to cater for, young adults. When I say young adults, 15 to 22-year-old young boys and girls. It's a joke, and something needs to happen because it's bursting at the seams.
Oh, it obviously is. I mean, gee, that must be so gut-wrenching, Daniel, when you have to deal with these circumstances and you find out, as you've just highlighted, only one space in the metropolitan area for an at-risk young girl.
Well, yeah, and what are they? And what are you supposed to do? Like, I work in a government school. Like, I'm going beyond what I guess my capabilities and reach, and even the services that provide Anglicare and Mission Australia and all these other places, they're bursting at the seams as well. Yep. And it's not just young people; it's the Red Crisis as well. But young people who have, it is gut wrenching and it's hard, and something needs to happen. So the fact that it's $500,000 we're talking about, and if it doesn't happen, it's a blight on the government.
I agree with you totally, Daniel. Thanks for calling up and for the work that you're obviously doing in your school. Ollie, I wonder how the government would feel about these desperately in need people camping out on Metronet trains and Metronet stations. That seems to be their absolute priority, no expense being spared. If it wasn't so sad, it'd be funny.